Hey, what's up guys? Aiden here, and today I'm going to be reading with my friend, who will not be named in this video, because he does not want to be named in this video. And today we're going to be reading Greg Goes to Vietnam. You excited?
Very excited.
Yes, indeed I am. I actually am, I actually go on r/LoadedDipper a lot, so, yeah. This was in the Pioneer Golden Age. So let's start out. Greg Goes to Vietnam Part 1, the draft. My draft notice arrived in the mail yesterday. I'm angry, but I knew this was inevitable. Oh well.
I think you'd look so handsome in a uniform.
I asked Mom if she'd help me escape to Canada, but she wasn't much help. I'm gonna keep at it. What did Johnson say again? I will not send American boys 8 or 10,000 miles to do a job that the Vietnamese boys ought to be doing for themselves. Look, I hate the commies as much as the next guy, but this isn't our war to fight. The last thing I want is to die in some jungle in the butt-fuck nowhere on the other side of the world because President Johnson's ego is too big to end this war. I'll try to convince Dad about the Canada thing. He's anti-war as they come. If not, I may have to take matters into my own hands. Okay, that's the first issue. Now we're going off to the second issue. Greg Goes to Vietnam, Part 2, Private Jefferson. Well, I just arrived at basic training. I can't say that I'll enjoy it. But I can say this, our dress uniforms are sharp. I'm sure this will help me pick up girls. You know what they say, women love a man in a uniform. I've also made a new pal, Private Jefferson. Jeez, I keep wanting to say Johnson. I noticed he seemed a little nervous, so I kinda took him under my wing. Jefferson may seem a little clueless, but let me tell you, that guy can handle an M60 like no other. We did some combat exercise and under fire. Jefferson is one of the finest human, it says humans twice. Oh, whatever. Finest human being in the world. All he needs is someone throwing hand grenades at him the rest of his life. I'm telling you, nothing phases this guy. The drill sergeant was telling us about the combat stress and shit, whatever. Jefferson is like a man of steel out there. Absolutely nothing distracts him from the mission. At all. I can be the brain, and he can be the brawn. I'm telling you, we'll be a great team. Okay, now we're at issue 3. Shipping out. Re-uploaded for spelling. Okay. Well, looks like this is it. Boot camp is done. I'm off to Vietnam. I'm scared. I've heard how long the average lifespan of grunts over there is. But I've been trained well enough, and who knows, maybe I'll get lucky when I have to. And I've got Jefferson to watch my back. Plus, I met this girl during basic. So I know I have something to fight for. I get on a ship tomorrow at the crack of dawn. Maybe I can see her one last time. Good night, USA.
Night,
Good
USA.
morning, Vietnam. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
How about I do
You
good
say
night,
it.
USA, and yeah. Good night, USA. You say the rest?
Morning, Vietnam.
Yeah.
Smiling about Private.
Smooch.
Good.
Yeah. Oh, wait, whoops. Okay. Let's go to the part 4 now. Patrol. Okay. Issue 4, Patrol. We went on our first patrol tonight. They say that war is like 99% waiting around and 1% actual fighting. And that is completely fine by me. Let me tell you, walking around the rice paddies at night is eerie enough without the threat of a bunch of rice farmers jumping out at you. Sergeant Morris told us all about it, how the gooks would always attack first and then blend in with the civilians like the cowards they were. He told us that out here, everyone is the enemy, until they aren't. And someone, you have to go to the extreme, but the brass usually look the other way. I, for one, don't like the idea of shooting civilians. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Born to kill. Nice. Okay, now let's go to issue 5, Ambush. We were out on a patrol one last night. Should have been a nightly like any other. Boy, was I ever wrong. I was looking down when it happened. One moment all we hear is the soft sound of the jungle. The next, the night is torn wide open by the screaming of those commie gooks and the roar of an RPK. Sergeant Morris was hit first, as the poor bastard absorbed the worst of the opening barrage. We tried to retreat to the tree line. We were caught in the wide open. We were utterly fucked. I blindly fired my M16 into the tree and grabbed Private Jefferson, and I hauled ass back towards camp. Disoriented and under shock, I didn't think we'd make it out. You know, I know it's not my fault, but yet, I wish I had been more alert. Those gooks can sure plan an ambush. I have to give them that. Okay, let's get to issue 6. Okay, Aftermath. In this series, there's actually 2 parts called Aftermath. So, part 6, Aftermath. Dealing with the ambush has been hard. Surprisingly, Jefferson has taken it especially hard. Keeps only to himself, gets jumpy, random mood swings. Oh, and the nightmares. The guy can't go 2 nights without him waking us all up at night screaming about Sergeant Morris. I have to be honest with you, I think he's losing it. I don't blame him either. Seeing your friend in a pool of blood and guts isn't something the Army tells you about when they're asking you to fight for Uncle Sam. I told Colonel Granger about Jefferson. Fucker says Jefferson is just a pussy. That's the Army, I guess. You wanna scream? Or is it like 2?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Ah!
That's good. I feel it. I feel it's only a matter of time before Jefferson goes ahead and offs himself. Damn shame, really. But what else can I do? Sad. Okay, part 7, PTSD. I don't know how much more Jefferson can take. I saw him at Chow yesterday, just sitting there with this deranged look on his face. Went to say hi to him. He just kind of turned with this insane grin. Didn't even blink. Got jumpy too. Tried to get into our tent last night. He beat my hand to pulp. I'm telling you. Nice one. I'm telling you, he's gonna snap soon. When he does, it ain't gonna be pretty. At the very least, the fucked up hand got me a few days of R&R. Oh boy, I don't know what that is. Sure can't wait to get back at it. Oh, maybe that's like medical something. Yeah. Okay. Part 8. Youch! It finally happened. I sustained my first combat injury. Command wanted us to take this godforsaken hill, despite our recon saying it was too well defended. What could go wrong? Napalm that shit out of it. Load some artillery on those fuckers. Rolling some tankers, right? Yeah, sounds great until the air wing is tied up and the artillery needs to be resupplied. This place is a fucking mess. Whatever we move in, until we get pinned down and air support is unavailable, that's when the gook nails me in the ass. You know, you get hardened to seeing other people die, but getting shot yourself is a different story. Wanting to cry like a bitch. At least I'll be out of commission for a while. Getting some leave will be just what I need. Okay. We're almost done with this now. So yeah. How are you enjoying it so far?
It's great.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Oh God, it was my last night in the hospital and I just wanted to walk around a little. Well, I'm just wandering around the complex when I hear this awful scream from down the hall. Look, I've done my time in combat, and this wasn't like any scream I'd heard before. I peeked into the room. It hit me. You know that sticky orange shit? Napalm? Looks like the government is testing it on its own soldiers. I crept into the room and ducked out of sight. The moment the docs left, I grabbed as many files as I could and ran.
We need to add more pepper.
Yeah. I don't know if they actually did this. He probably did. But I surely know that they did a lot of bad stuff to the Vietnamese people during the war. But both sides did awful things. Lucky for me, I was hit at the end of my tour. I'll be at home in a few days. When I get back, I'm going straight to the New York Times. The Army will have my ass for this. Some things are worth going to jail for. Okay. And we're almost done. Greg goes to Vietnam, Part 10, whistleblower. Well, the feds finally caught up with me. It didn't take long for the grand jury to indicate me for conspiracy against the United States and a bunch of other crap. All this really shows is the government has really just legalized tyranny. People had the right to know. Next up comes the legal fight. My lawyer is good. He's dealt with feds before. I've got a fair amount of public support too. But really, this goes to show how fucked up the whole situation is. The boys are dying for no good reason in a pointless war, and I'm going to prison for exposing government lies. This isn't America I fought for. This isn't the America Morris took 7 rounds to the chest for. It sure as hell isn't the America Jefferson blew his brains out over. Oh, Jefferson died. That's so sad, bro. Well, Raleigh died. This is so sad, guys. Also, this got a badge. I've been locked in federal prison for 3 years now. It sucks. But I stand by my action 100%. Great.
Son, you got there, Frank.
I only have one regret, and that is what I put my family through. I know they stand by me, but I can't say that for everything else. I know my dad's co-workers at the agency don't take kindly to leakers. I just wish that they didn't have to suffer because of the choices I made. Who knows? Public support for the war is at an all-time low. Maybe one day people will appreciate my sacrifice. Maybe they'll stop harassing my family. Maybe I'll even get a pardon. Till then, I want my story to be heard. I want Jefferson to be heard. I want Morris to be heard. People deserve the truth. This is Private First Class Greg Heffley. Over and out. Well, that's it. So, what would you rate Greg Goes to Vietnam?
7 out of 10.
Yeah?
Jefferson X Heffley, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I think this one was pretty decent, you know. It's from the golden age of r/loaded dipper, so, you know. And, I think that's it. Thanks for being here. And
Make sure to sub to Aiden. Come on, guys.
Yeah, make sure to sub to me. And have a good one, guys.
Sub.